I'm Carolyn Washburn from Utah State University Extension in Washington County. I'm a family consumer science agent and deal with issues that affect the home and family all of the time to build resiliency and make families strong. One of the things that I really enjoy is gardening. I love to be able to watch the flowers grow, to be able to pick the tomatoes off the vine, and to enjoy the wonderful things that grow in the garden. Just to feel the soil on my hands, it's good for my soul. It's great to be able to feel it. And I know that a garden needs to be nurtured to do well. And so I will do that. I'm going to prepare the soil. I'll do my compost and add it with it. I'll make sure that my plants and flowers have plenty of sunlight. I'll be sure and use the right kind of tools. I've got a spoon here, and that spoon could be used for some things. But if I really want to do a good job out in my garden, I know that it's going to take more than a spoon. It's going to take a shovel, or even a little shovel for small plants. Sure, I could snip the leaves with scissors, but if I'm going to do any pruning, I have to make sure that I have the right kind of tools. Tools for the gardener are very, very important. I love to nurture a garden. In fact, nurturing is a word that I learned that goes with garden. I first thought about it when I attended a gardening class and they talked about nurturing the plants, and I thought, what a wonderful word. We need to nurture all of the things we do in life, our children and our relationships. So just as I nurture my garden, I make sure it has plenty of sunlight, plenty of water, a little fertilizer added in when it needs it, and yes, I might even have to add some weed killer or bug killer, because things are going to get into my garden that I'm going to have to weed and get rid of. But I do love the garden. It's wonderful to feel that soil and watch it go. But as a gardener, I know that it takes time and patience, and some years it may not even produce the fruits that I want it to. But I know that if I still take the time to nurture it, I can have a good garden. And so it is with a relationship. Any type of relationship is going to take a tremendous amount of nurturing. So I relate it a little bit to the garden. The first thing in any relationship, whether it be a marriage or a friendship, a partnership, is that I have to have some good soil to begin with. So I know myself well, I know what my needs are. I've done a good job of getting ready for a relationship. I'll be able to plant the seeds that I want to grow. Maybe it will be flowers, maybe it will be onions, or maybe it will even be small plants of tomatoes, and I'm going to plant them in the good soil that I've prepared. I may have added fertilizer right from the start so that it will be very good foundation. As I plant those seeds, I know that when I garden, I have to have them, but in my relationship, I have to have those seeds of friendship. I have to spend time with my partner, with the people I'm involved with. Time to plant those seeds and make good friendships. I might do weekly date nights or time set out to do conversations, but I know that those things are very, very important. I need to make sure the people around me know that I care about them. I have to nurture them just as I would my garden. I'll use a tender touch, a tender conversation, and I'll remember to spend time to talk to them every single day. With positive words, you know, it takes 7 good positive words for every negative one I say to my family members each day. So I really have to work on nurturing and putting those kind words in. Kindness is a wonderful nurturing word and the most important element in almost any relationship. So just as I have nurtured and done the things I need in the garden, I remember how the sunlight feels on my back. Oh, the warmth of it. I know that touch is very important in nurturing a relationship, and so I'll give a pat on the shoulder, a touch of the hands, a hug, letting people know that I do care about them. That's the warm sunshine in a relationship that can help last when days are cold. I'll remember to nurture my garden by plenty of water. If I let the days go by that I don't water my plants, they're going to die and dwindle away. If I let the days go by without communicating with my partner, so is that relationship going to dwindle away? Most couples will spend 2 to 3 hours a day together, but much of that time is spent in watching TV or talking about children, maybe around the dinner table, and those are good things and very, very important, but we have to spend time together in talking with each other. Communications. Set aside times when you can sit down and discuss the things that are issues to you. It might be finance. How is the budget going? How are we dealing with children? Am I feeling neglected? Things that you can talk about and really listen to each other. That will be just like the water in my flower. So I want those things to all be involved in my relationship, and it will be one that can grow. But sometimes things might come along in a relationship that needs a little fertilizing, just like my flowers do. And so, if that's the case, I'm going to find some ways to fertilize my relationship. It might be with self-help books. Many of them are available. Good research-based books by people that have done a lot of research on relationships are out there. Many states even have a marriage handbook. They tell you the things that you want to work on. Some people might even choose to get relationship CDs that they can put in and listen to on their way to work. Oftentimes you can find marriage retreats, marriage classes, anything you can do to attend and help your relationship grow and flourish. Research tells us that couples that take 8 hours of marriage enrichment before they marry, 8 years later, 80% of them are still married. How about that? 8 hours, 8 years later, 80%. The odds on those that don't is 50% of them are still married. It's a good deal, an 8-hour trade for those extra years of being married. So I want to make sure I do enrich my relationship. It will take fertilizer. And then, yes, sometimes those weeds are going to come in. We're going to be disappointed, discouraged, criticism will creep up in there, and I'm going to have to find some ways to get rid of those weeds too. But I'm not going to walk away from my garden. Remember, I'm the nurturer and I want it to grow. So I'll find ways to get rid of them. Discussion will help, and I'll set aside those times and I'll find the things I need to get rid of those weeds. And they may be things about money issues or children issues, issues that we need to communicate about. But if I want to have a great harvest, I'm going to work on it. And when I work on and nurture my garden, eventually the fruits of my labors will pay off. Just like I pick the tomatoes off the vine and get ready to can them for the winter, I'll have plenty of respect in my relationship garden and devotion for one another that can continue for many years. Nurturing a relationship, is it important? You bet it is. Every bit as important as the garden that you might have in your backyard. So, welcome to my garden and welcome to your relationship garden. It's critical that you work on and nurture a very good one.